What's going on? Megan here. All right, so this video is on Alex. All right, Alex from Alphadestiny. If you guys, for those of you guys who don't know him, Alex is a pretty cool guy. We've been friends for a while. I think back in 2014 or 2013 is when I first found his channel, and since then he's made crazy improvement. So anyway, first go to YouTube, type Alphadestiny, right? Just type it in one word or two word, doesn't matter. And he should be the first thing that, yeah, there he goes. This channel right here. So click on that. Yo, my internet is fucking up, man. I gotta call Comcast. But let me pause that. So, long story short, Alex is, as you can see, 5'5", 182 pounds, and he's uh he's a big proponent of lifting heavy, and sometimes he lifts so heavy that he gets a lot of criticism. And in fact, a lot of questions that I get, I get questions from two groups of people: the people that don't know about him, right, and then normally ask, hey, what do you think about this guy? Is his training legit? I notice you guys have similar philosophies on high frequency training and things like that. And the second group of people that already know Alex, they're mostly asked the same question, which is, what do you think of his NE program? He has a training program called NE. I believe he stands for Naturally Enhanced. Yeah, Naturally Enhanced. And they pretty much just asked me to rate it. So it's pretty much this the bulk, 90% of the questions I get on Alex on those, one of those two questions. And so I'm gonna condense everything in one video. Pretty much, long story short, Alex is a cool guy. Once again, we go back 2, 3 years, probably more than that. And Alex was not always this fucking brolic. That's the first thing I want to start with. You see how big Alex is? I mean, just look at this. Just look at his neck. Look at his traps, right? Shoulders, upper chest, all that shit, right? This is how Alex used to look. When I met this motherfucker, this is how he used to look. This picture on the right? Close to that. And fast forward a year or two, probably, I took a long break from YouTube, so I missed a lot of shit. I don't know if this happened within a year or a year and a half, but in a very short amount of time, he went from this to that. And he's natural. I believe he's natty. Trust me, I can tell if somebody's on the juice, and, Alex is definitely natty. So when I reopened my channel, when I started making videos again, I was like, hey, let me catch up on, everyone I used to watch, like, Endomorph Beast, Fitness Challenge Me, Benoit, Chris Jones, the twins, all those guys, right? And I was like, hey, let me check out Alex. And I saw this fucking picture of Alex. I can't remember. Hold on, let me see. Can't remember what video it was. You know how YouTube shows you recommended, all that shit? And it was this video where his traps were just popping the fuck out, right? And I was like, whoa, what the fuck happened to Alex, man? Like, this dude blew the fuck up. And you guys know me, I'm in love with traps. It's my favorite muscle in the human body. I love traps. It maybe because it's my worst body part, but I've always been fascinated with traps. 90% of my research on muscle growth, I've done it when I was, trying to figure out the secret to big traps. And so that's one thing that we share. One passion that we share is, we love traps and that. I can't remember what video it was, but anyway, it was one of those videos, like where his traps was popping out. And I was like, bro, like what the fuck happened, So I went in, started looking at one of his videos, and he was talking about, the way he lifts now, super heavy. I saw that he was doing rack pulls, which is an exercise I absolutely love. You just got to be careful because it works so well that when I started doing rack pulls, it was working so well for my traps that I started just piling the weight, over and over again. And eventually I fucked my shit up because I already had a deadlift injury and that made it worse. Long story short. So, but I saw that he was doing the rack pulls. He was doing a lot of, T-ball rolls, just a lot of heavy fucking lifting. And a lot of questions that I got was also on the subject of, his lifting style. People were like, hey, he jerks the weight around. What do you think about that kind of training? I think some people were asking questions first because they were not sure if that kind of training will work for them. And I'm here to tell you that it would. Just because I don't train like that doesn't mean it's not a method that that works. That doesn't work. And like I always tell people, you wanna look at different channels, right? Look at different training styles, look at different training philosophies, and try to see what they have in common. That's what my channel focuses on, right? I observe. I look at every kind of you know, I look at systems, the way people build muscle, the people lose fat, and I look at the differences. And I also look at the commonalities, and I focus on what they have in common. So when you see somebody showing you a style of training that you're not familiar with, don't assume that it's bullshit. Don't assume that is to be discarded right away. No, do some research, dig deep, and try to see. Well, okay, If that person is getting results from that, why is he getting results from it? What element, does that training style has in common with the other training styles? You know what I mean? And one thing that you notice from his workout videos, when he's jerking the weight and doing all that shit, there's a lot of weighted stretching. When he's doing the rack pulls, stretching his traps. When he's doing the T-ball rolls, he's jerking the weight up. On the way down, it's stretching the shit out of his upper back and traps, and that leads to explosive growth. I made a ton of videos about the importance of stretching the muscle, with heavy weights to maximize the growth response. I look because when I was studying traps, I saw that the people that had the biggest traps, right, were doing a lot of exercises that put the traps under immense, load, under stretch. So, for example, I looked at the strongman competitors that were doing farmer walks, stretching the shit out of the traps. I was looking at powerlifters that were doing a lot of deadlifts. I looked at Olympic lifters, they were doing a lot of snatches and things like that. And I noticed, one thing they all have in common is a lot of stretching on the muscle. Long story short, I discovered that stretching activates mTOR, blah, blah, blah. And then that kind of made sense why the people that have the biggest chests, are not necessarily the biggest bench presses, but they also do a lot of heavy dumbbell flies, and people that have wide ass lats are known for doing a lot of chin ups, and if you guys have never done weighted chins before, that shit stretches the fuck out of your lats. But anyway, this video is not about stretching. I already made videos about weighted stretching. So that's one of the reasons why his training philosophy works so well. Not only he's using a lot of weight, which we all know is correlated with growth. Not only he's doing progressive overload, which is obviously a prerequisite, but he's also doing a lot of weighted stretching. So there is a method to the madness. Obviously you want to work up to the capacity. You want to work up to the amount of weights that he's using. You don't want to just get up and start throwing weight around. You're gonna fuck your shit up. But there definitely is a method to the madness, right? So because a lot of the questions I get are also negative. They're like, oh, I just don't assume something is bullshit simply because it's outside of the norm. Obviously he's working for him. It's backed up by a lot of studies. Once again, I talked about the stretching and the heavy weights and the progressive overload, thing. So, give it a try. I always say, give it a try, right? Stop everything you're doing for about a week or two. Start this program for about 4 weeks. I always say, do it for 4 weeks, take a break about a week or two, do it again for 4 weeks, take another break, and then see how your body, responds. See how your strength improves. See how your physique improves. Believe it or not, if you're doing the right program and you're eating right, you will see changes in a very short amount of time. When I started doing full body workouts, I blew the fuck up in a matter of months. So, it doesn't take a long time to put on size or see results if what you're doing is proven to work. And once again, like I said, Alex blew up, man. He looks massive in these thumbnails here, And he wasn't always like that. Like I said, Alex was, I remember Alex, trust me, I remember when I first saw his videos about 2 years ago, he was not that fucking yoked. So check him out, guys. Check him out. He's a really cool guy. He's funny as hell. He's also a friend of Philip. Felipe. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. I don't even know if Philip has a YouTube channel. I gotta ask him that. I did an interview with him, I believe a year or 2 years ago. Really cool guy. But yeah, check him out, guys. We share a lot of views. Full body workouts, high frequency training. Things like that. Another thing that I love about his mindset is he's always trying. He's thinking outside the box. He's always thinking outside the box. Always trying different things, trying to see what works. Not just sticking to conventional methods, but thinking outside the box. And that's how you grow as a person, and that's how you grow in the gym. Right. So check him out, and comment below. Let me know the questions you have. Once again, type Alphadestiny. She should be the first channel that pops up or the second. Make sure you subscribe and show him some Team 3D love if it's your first time hearing about him. Other segments. So go in the comment section and just vote. Vote on what you think is your most requested topic, and then obviously the one that has the most likes are the ones that I'm gonna prioritize. In case let's